BT Moto, and in this video we're going to show you how to swap out your velocity stacks on your Ducati V2. The tools you're going to need in order to perform this job consist of a ratchet as well as various length extensions, an 8mm socket as well as a 10mm socket, a 3mm Allen, 4mm Allen, 5mm Allen as well as an extended 5mm Allen, and then a small pick and or small flathead screwdriver will work as well. Now, before we get started, we can see that this Panigale V2 has been tracked, and there are various missing bolts as we go through this process. For example, like back here, that you'll have to take off that I won't have to show you in this video. But just know, if you start pulling on some panels and it doesn't feel like it's coming off, you may have missed a bolt or a clip or something that I do not have here. But we're going to go ahead and show you what I have here and then go from there. Start off, we're going to take the two 4mm Allen bolts holding our seat on each corner down here out, and once those are out, we can go ahead and lift the seat and pull it off. Next, we're going to take this cover around the key fob here off. In order to do so, we're going to need first our 3mm Allen on these two bolts on the outside here, and then a 4mm Allen to take these two bolts out, as well as our 10mm socket after these two bolts are out to take the ones under off. Now that we have this cover around the key removed, we can go ahead and remove these side panels right here. They're going to consist of one bolt in the front here, as well as two clips. I'll try and show you here. One right there, and then another one right on the inside right here. And you're just going to use your flathead or pick to pick the tab up and then pull the clip out. So we're going to do those two clips, this front bolt, and then we can start to remove this inner trim piece. We're going to do the same thing on both sides, and we're going to do this through the whole video. So one side here is what I'm going to show you, but we're going to be doing it to both sides. For reference, the clips on the inside here I was talking about, this is what they look like up close. This is the tab up top here that you're going to have to pull up. So you're just going to take a pick or a flathead on this flat spot. Once this tab is up, you can then pull the clip out, and there's the two of them. Once we have those two clips out and the front bolt here removed, we can go ahead and start to remove this piece. We're just going to want to pull it towards the inside here and lift up. And then once it's loose, we can kind of pull it out like so. Once we have those inner trim panels right here removed on both sides of the motorcycle, we can begin removing this panel right here, which is going to consist of two 3mm Allen bolts up here, as well as four 4mm Allen bolts down here. You'll probably have another 4mm Allen bolt back here to do. And then there's going to be two right here, one up here and one back there, as well as a 4 or 5mm Allen up here. You have one of those clips right here we need to remove, and possibly this bolt down here. Now, with all the bolts removed, we can begin removing our panel right here. A couple things to note is that front nose area, we're just going to want to be careful pulling it out from under this area, as well as the two tabs behind the windscreen here. So what I like to do is just start getting that front loose, and then when we get to these two tabs here, just lift up on this slightly until they come out. And then once we're at this area here, we can begin removing the bottom. Once all this is loose, two things. There's a tab down here and a tab down here, and we just need to go this way with it to unlock the two tabs. So just a couple more preparations before we take this fuel tank off here. There are these metal little rings inside these grommets. Once we get the bolts out, I just take some needle nose pliers, and you can just slide them out. They come out like so. There's going to be one on this side and one on the other side. Taking them out just makes it a little bit easier to lift the fuel tank up for the other things we need to do. So go ahead and pull these out, and we'll do the next steps. Next, we're going to come to the back of the fuel tank here, and now with that bracket removed, there's a couple connectors we want to remove back here. So just lift up on the back of this. There's this ground connector you're just going to pull off, and then there's a level sensor right here. You're just going to pull the tab up, and it should come right out. Once those are out, you can put this back down, and we'll move to the front. Now this is the front of the fuel tank right here, and with those tabs removed, we're just going to start lifting up on the fuel tank here. And as you'll begin to notice, this is our airbox right in here. So the bottom of the fuel tank is actually our airbox lid. And you'll see back here, there's this white connector. This is our fuel line, so we do need to remove that. To do so, you're just going to press on the metal tab and gently pull back. And then you'll disconnect the fuel line right there. And there's two more lines on the back corner we're going to go to next. Remove those before finishing removing the fuel tank. So now we're at the right front of the fuel tank here. And all we're going to do is we're going to lift up on the fuel tank, and you'll notice there's two lines right here. This one you can just go ahead and pull right off. Be gentle, should come right off. And then you have this little metal clip right here. You can use a pick or a small flathead to open up this little tab, like so. And then once that's disconnected, we can go ahead and pull this line off as well. And that's going to be everything on the fuel tank, so we're going to go ahead and remove the fuel tank next. With everything disconnected, we're just going to lift up on the back and the front here at the same time, and the whole fuel tank should come right off. Just like that, we're in the airbox and we have access to our velocity stacks right here. And what you'll notice is there are these fuel injectors that sit on the top of the velocity stacks using these metal clips and these tabs right here. So just one thing I want to note and make important before we start here is you're just going to want to be very careful when removing these fuel injector clips. One, for the fuel lines themselves, as well as the metal tabs and the tabs on our stacks right here. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that now. In order to begin removing these fuel injectors, there's this little tab right here. We're just going to pull up. And when you pull up, you'll notice it goes off these clips and we can lift it. It's still attached in the back here, and it's attached a little bit different way. So what you're going to do is just kind of pull back on it until it unclips. And yours will be the factory stacks likely, so it'll be a little bit easier. These shorter stacks are a little bit tighter. And then once you have that removed, you'll see this metal bar right here. That's what goes under these tabs. So the tabs go in like so on the metal bar. So that's kind of how this fuel injector setup works. We're going to remove this one. We're also going to remove that one. And then there's this fuel line right here with two tabs on both sides. We're just going to squeeze it right here to remove this fuel line. And then that way we can take our fuel injectors and move them out of the way while we're trying to do our velocity stacks here. Now with both of our fuel injectors loose and off the stacks, we can go ahead and remove that fuel line here in the center. I'm just going to grab a small blue cloth to help catch some of the fuel that comes out when we pop it off. So just press those two tabs in, push it down, and lift up. And then you'll get a little bit of fuel drippage. Just hold that cloth there, and we can gently move these fuel injectors kind of out of the way here. So they'll just kind of hang out on the outside of the airbox while we're doing our velocity stacks here. To do the stacks, there are nuts on the bottom side of the velocity stack, one right here and one on the other side of the throttle body here. So in order to change them out, we are going to have to remove the 4 Allen head bolts holding the throttle bodies on. We're going to remove all 8 on both throttle bodies to make both of them loose, get our new stacks inside the airbox, and then go ahead and bolt them back down. Now, one thing we want to be cautious with here while we're doing that is any nuts or bolts we drop, we want to make sure they go back in. Under these throttle bodies are the valves to the bike. So if any bolts or nuts drop in there, we want to try and avoid that first of all. But if they do drop down there, you can try and use a magnet of some sort to get the nut or bolt out of the valves under this throttle body. And then that way we know there's going to be no damage to our engine. Now from this point, these are our final draft of the velocity stacks here installed during our testing. I'm going to cut to a clip when we were doing our testing on the velocity stacks to show you how to remove and install these with the throttle bodies and the velocity stacks themselves. And then I'll come back after that and we'll start putting this thing back together. I figured I would do a little demonstration here while we're doing our stack testing with different models of stacks and stuff here. So these aren't what you'll typically see. But I wanted to know, in order to remove these stacks, you'll notice that the nut is on the bottom, same with the other corner down there. And it's an 8mm nut, there's 2 of them. But in order to get to them, these throttle bodies need to come up, both of them. So to do so, you're just going to take a 5mm extended Allen, like so. And there's going to be 4 of these 5mm Allens around, these 2, and then 2 on the inside for both of these. So a total of 8. You're going to remove all 8 of these 5mm Allen bolts. And once you have all 8 of the 5mm Allen bolts removed, these will move freely, both throttle bodies, and you can then turn them inside the airbox, use a small ratchet and 8mm to get the nuts off on this side and the other side. Remove the stacks, put your new stacks on, and then we'll all go back together in this order here. Now the throttle body bolts removed, I figured I'd just show you here that we can lift up and you can see one of the 8mm nuts here and another on the other side right there. We're going to go remove both of those and then we can go ahead and take our stack off. And the important part is just going to be when we install our new stack, we're going to want to make sure these tabs match the stack that we take off for these clips right here. So to show you guys how I get this back stack in after we got our new stacks in here, I just kind of tilt this to the side like this and then put a ratchet with a short extension in this area to the left here. That allows me to get the two 8mm nuts holding this on, get the new one in, and then put it back together like so. But once you have it back together like this, we can go ahead and put our 5mm Allen bolts into the throttle bodies. We'll start with the inside one there and come back to the outside one here, just to give us a little bit more wiggle room, and then we'll come back when it's all back together. So just so you can see the fuel injector, how it sits on the velocity stack, it's very similar to how it sits on the factory stacks, and actually the same way. We have this metal bar back here, which is going to go under these two tabs back here. And then once we do that, we can press the fuel injector down and snap these front ones in here. So just for example, you're going to want to be really careful, just getting that metal bar under those two tabs. Kind of walk the stack forward once you do. And then we have these two tabs, and you'll notice it kind of has like a springiness to it. So we're going to bring it down flat, make sure it's all flush around the velocity stack. And then we can go ahead and take our front metal spring here and work it around these two front tabs. And you can see once we have all that in, it's very solid in place, and that's how you know you're all set. One more thing to note in here, while you're doing this, if you want to change your air filter, now is a really good time. You just have those two tabs right there. You're going to pull and then fold in, and the whole air filter will come out this way. You may need to remove the fuel injector nozzles here and move them out of the way like we did to do the stacks, but another good thing to do here at the same time while you're in here, do that filter. And then one last thing is while you're doing that filter, you'll notice inside there is this noise deadening stuff. You can go ahead and pull this out. You don't need it anymore, and then you'll go ahead and put the new filter in there as well. And we're back. Once you have your new velocity stacks all installed and your fuel injectors, just give them a good shake. Make sure they're not loose on our velocity stacks here. Make sure your clips are in place properly on both the back side and the front side here. Again, being gentle with these tabs on both sides here as they can break. And the last thing I wanted to mention here before we put it all back together is that there is this seal ring that just sits along this ridge, along the airbox here. And you just want to make sure that seal ring is nice and seated all the way around before we go to put our fuel tank back on. Just to make sure there's a nice seal on our airbox here. Other than that though, we can begin putting our fuel tank back on. We're going to follow the same steps to put everything back together in reverse order. So if you need to, go back to the earlier parts of the video and refer to those in reverse order to put it back together. And we'll come back after the bike is all back together. With the bike all back together, that is going to conclude our video on how to install velocity stacks on your Ducati V2. If you need any help or have any other questions, feel free to contact us at btmoto.com.